Okay, so let's start with some celebrations. What is everyone celebrating? You can also talk about the celebration of the money that you found yesterday. So I want to hear both of it. So unmute or go in the chat if you absolutely cannot unmute.
My husband got $10,000 yesterday. Unexpectedly.
Share more.
Basically from his aunt, but it was just, I don't know. I guess long story short is she knows that he's been doing some investing, and she's a very big Christian and is very like led by Holy Spirit. And she was just like felt that she needed to like sow that seed into him. So she did. And I was like, you have no idea. I'm like literally in the midst of like praying for that and like bringing that into, like, I'm doing everything consciously and subconsciously to get $10,000. And she was like, what? And even to her, like, it's really like nothing, because this happens to her all the time. Like, I don't know. She just listens to her gut, and it just always happens to be the right amount, you know? Like, she'll give someone like $100 and it's like exactly what they needed for rent.
That is so cool. I love that so much. And how awesome that 2 people yesterday got 10 grand. That's like crazy. Anyone else get 10 grand yesterday? I wish. You know, I'm losing money, so that's cool. I did find $2 yesterday in my coat pocket, so that was nice. I'm now.
Don't say you're losing it.
I'm now down $8.
Say your 10,000 is coming.
And I'm now down 8 instead of down 10. So it's funny though, when you have money all over your house and things that you see. Cindy found a quarter. So cool. Hey, it's still a quarter, Cindy. You still found it. Anyone else find money yesterday? Anyone? No one else found any money?
I found money. I did.
Okay. Where did you?
I found, it's Angela.
Where are you? Oh, there's your picture.
I found money. Sorry, with my crazy hair now, I don't look presentable.
Okay.
I found money cleaning out some old purses.
Oh, awesome.
I think it was like $14.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's good. And then yesterday
and by the way,
go ahead.
By the way, my closet looks amazing. Thank you, Taryn.
Yeah, we did some organizing together. Yeah, it's so exciting when you just get that energy and that space like in the right place. I'm like excited for you. When I left, I was like, I need to organize my stuff. What am I doing? So yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
It does feel so good to have that done. Good. See, and you found money doing it. So that's pretty cool. Anyone else? Let's talk about celebrations for your business. I want everyone on this call to celebrate something in their business right now. Put it in the chat or unmute yourself and say it. You have to think of something. You have to. It's crucial.
Can I say one more thing? I want to tell you guys one more thing about that LinkedIn networker guy that I'm working with. He does like these founder calls like every Tuesday, and I've been like jumping on just to see like what he has to say. And he does like a lot of study about like subconscious mind and like all these things. And he brought on like this specialist I was telling you about, and she is called like the Mind Whisperer. And I have a call with her today at 1. So she does like some intense work with like your subconscious. So I'm like so excited to share that with you guys.
I can't
Like,
hear
imagine if
everything.
we could clear like all that gunk out of there. Like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
anyways, I'm excited to share that with you guys tomorrow.
that's going to be so cool. Yeah, we would love to hear how it goes. Super interested. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Can you take your passy out and say hi to my friends? Hi, April. Okay, or just April. What about everybody else? No. You can't say hi to them?
No.
Mina.
Hi, Sky.
Look, that's Angela. She doesn't have her face on.
Hi.
Here, go get the sissy and close my door, please. Thank you. Let Sissy use it too. Close my door. Thank you. Sophia's quarantined. You can't even. Literally, like, I just don't even get me started. You know, she's quarantined, but no one else has to be quarantined. And I'm like, whatever. It's fine. I'm over it. Spencer is too. Yeah, Haley. So like, it's just so ridiculous. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I was like, good. Now you can babysit Skylar while I work. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. So, okay. So nobody put it. Oh, wait, we had one person. Cindy's the only person who gave a celebration for yesterday. If you
I
guys,
have one.
okay, go ahead.
I woke up this morning to a message from, first of all, I haven't been really doing a lot of Q stuff just because of what's going on in my life. But I woke up to a message this morning from a friend of mine who used to be an ambassador, and she has a couple of her old customers that want to sign up under me as preferred customers because she's not active. So she's going to have those people sign up under me. So
Wow. That's really cool. That's pretty much unexpected money too, you know? So that's,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, that's really cool. Okay. Awesome. That's a huge celebration.
I have kind of a celebration.
Okay.
So I had a moment in my business yesterday that wasn't like super fun. It was like a hard learning moment.
Mhm.
And it was with somebody who it was with an ambassador, and it was tough, but I felt like I needed to go through it so that I could be
Mhm.
better prepared for people going forward. So I just felt like it was kind of a growing, learning moment.
Yeah, that is a huge thing to celebrate for sure. Every single moment like that you're going to go through is really good. So, Kristen, you should celebrate the fact that you're in the valley, because a lot of people don't even get in the valley and then care about the valley. They just quit. That's just how it is. Like the second it gets hard, oh, I'm going to quit. Well, go ahead and quit. Like that's just the majority of people are super weak. They do not have the courage to go forward. They cannot believe in themselves. They do not have the confidence to keep going. When adversity hits and things get tough, they just book it. Like, I can't do this. I'm out of here. So the fact that you're here just means that you're successful, because that is really the only definition of success. The only way that you can truly fail is if you quit something. So as long as you don't quit and you keep trying, you're not failing, you're still trying. The only way that you actually fail is when you stop. Like, think of when a kid is learning how to ride a bike. If they keep trying to ride the bike, are you going to say that they're failing? No, they're not failing, because they're trying. They're going to keep going. When they put the bike down and walk in the house and say, I'm never getting on the bike again, you're like, okay, well, now you failed. Now you quit. Now you're never going to do it. So nobody just joins a business and then is successful. Nobody just starts a business and is just successful and stays there all the time. Even the people that see success right away, it's because they had failure in another place in their life before that helped prepare them for this moment. So if somebody comes in and they fly to a rank, it's because they've already put in the hard work in previous time where we couldn't see. It didn't just come easy to them. It doesn't just come easy to them. And it's going to be hard. That's what starting a business is. That's why I listen to so much self-development and I watch so many YouTube videos and I listen to so many podcasts and I listen to stories of success and I hear from athletes. And I just started listening to Relentless by Tim Grover. And I just started realizing he's a personal trainer for huge athletes like Kobe and Michael Jordan. Like he coached all these people and he's talking about how hard it was for them to be at a super awesome place and to stay at a level of success. And they're not in network marketing, they're in sports. So I was listening to something yesterday, a sermon, and he was talking about how you work so hard to get to the level to where you want to be. And a lot of people experience burnout because it's for so long you're trying to perform at such a high level and you just can't stay there. And almost every single athlete, whoever is successful, experiences this to the point where they almost end their career forever because they can't beat it. So it's not just network marketing. These things that we're coming to, like Alicia talking to an ambassador yesterday and going through that adversity in that situation and feeling like we're not successful, we're not signing customers, we're not signing ambassadors, we can't get our life organized, we can't keep up, we feel like we're drowning. Like that is normal. That is a normal feeling. You're just like every other person who's trying to be successful. I'm telling you what, like I swear to you, if you could hear my brain and see me during the day, you would be like, okay, thank God she's thinking that too, because I was just thinking that and felt so weird and odd and strange for not thinking that. And it is one of the main reasons why I'm so vulnerable and open, because I feel like for so long, I just thought that I was like, something was wrong with me. Like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out? What is wrong with me? And that is like the mantra that I repeated in my head over and over and over. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Why me? Why not me? And it was lonely. And it was just a really bad feeling. I was comparing to other people and I was looking at what they were doing and looking at how they were doing it and looking at the success that I saw them having and their posts that they were having and the things that they were doing. And I was looking from an outside wishing like, why couldn't I be like that? Or why isn't this easier for me? And then I realized when I got close to people that people actually did deal with a lot of struggles. They just don't ever open up and talk about it. And then when I found that out, it pissed me off to where I said, I'm going to do these calls every morning and I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to be real and I'm going to go live on Facebook and I'm going to talk about how bad this industry sucks and how hard this industry is, but it's also the greatest thing that you'll ever do. And it is the best vehicle to get you to accomplish your dreams and to go where you want to go. You're learning about yourself. You're learning grit. You're learning how to be relentless. You're learning confidence. You're learning how to be a better wife, a better mom, a better woman. You're learning to be the best version of you. You're learning how to put your fitness first and your finances first. You're growing in all these areas. Like, where else can you go to grow in this many areas? And that's why I think that it is so hard, because we're in constant growth. We're constantly in the valley. We're constantly in the fire, getting molded and shaped. And because we're constantly pushing ourselves to grow, we're never just like, okay, all right, cool. I'm so glad I just finished that Q Fit challenge. I'm done. I did it. This is awesome. I'm so proud of myself. No, you're like, I didn't do it good enough. I didn't do it long enough. I need to keep going. What is next? How I still don't like my results. I still don't like how I feel. You're never going to get to where you want to go. Like, I've been on a journey of fitness and weight loss and health for so long. Like, it's exhausting even thinking about. And I just kept saying, if I just have my surgery, I will feel so good about myself. If I can just have this surgery and I just get rid of this extra skin and I just do this, like I'm going to feel so good. It's going to be amazing. And you know what? I did feel good in the beginning and I still really do feel good. But you know what I notice now? Things that I don't like on my body that I never noticed before. Like I didn't mind things like that before because all I was focused on was my stomach, was like my midsection. Like, oh my gosh, I hate how this looks. So I would put a bathing suit on and that's all I would look at. I would take my clothes off to get in the shower and that's all I would look at. And I would look down and that's what I would see. And I would obsess over it and think, if I could just have my surgery, if I could just have my surgery, if I could just have my surgery. Well, then I had it. And now I'm like, oh, what is that on my leg? Like, what is that on the side? What is that pouch over here? Like this wasn't here before. And now I'm like obsessing over that because it's not actually what is happening. It's what you're focusing on. And so and to a certain extent, it sucks. Like I sometimes wish like, man, I wish I could just be happy with just like being mediocre. I said that in therapy yesterday. I was like, I just wish that I could be my barista, have a barista job that I fantasize about and go to work, make coffees, socialize with people and come home and just have like nothing to do and just make dinner and clean my house and read books to my kids. And she's like, okay, so if you had that life, would you be happy? And I was like, oh, hell no. Like I would not be happy doing that. And she's like, exactly, because that's not who you were meant to be. Because I wouldn't be happy doing that. And then you know what we also do? We also pick apart all the things that we don't like about ourselves, but you have those traits for a reason and they are serving you a purpose. So like think of a trait right now that you have that you don't really like. Like maybe you don't like your laugh, or maybe you just feel like you talk too much, or you feel like you're kind of weird, or maybe you are really good at like multitasking like me, where you can go on YouTube and pull up ladybug videos and still teach someone something. You don't want this anymore? Okay, go give it to Sissy. She'll help you. And close the door because I'm on my call, please. And you're interrupting. Yeah, give it to Sissy. Thank you. But think of this trait that you have. One of the traits that I have that I hate is I'm an overthinker. I question everything. And then I question the questions of the things. So if I wake up in a bad mood, I'm not like, oh, I'm just in a bad mood. But I'm like, why am I in a bad mood? What did I eat yesterday? What did I eat the day before? What did I do yesterday? Did something happen? What triggered me? And then I'll go back in my head and try to think like, where did that start from? Where did the bad mood start from? Where did it go from? And I will like obsess over this bad mood that I woke up in. And I hate that I do that. But also what's good about that trait is it makes me a really good coach. Because when people come to me and say, I'm really depressed lately and I don't feel good, I'm like, okay, why? Let's figure this out. Why? When did this start? What are you doing? What do you do when it gets worse? What do you do when it gets better? What are things that you've tried to do? I can help people because I'm using a trait that I feel like is annoying sometimes, but it also is a very positive thing. So if you talk too much, then, you know, maybe in some situations you feel like, gosh, I just like never shut up. I'm just talking all the time. But other times that gift probably serves you good. It's probably a good thing that you can talk to anyone, that you can go out there and you can say whatever. So it's all about how we're focusing on it, and our perspective of it is really what we need to be focusing on. Our businesses go up and down based on emotion, and we're humans and we're going to experience emotions every single day. Your emotion right now is going to be different than it is in 4 hours from now. It could be different in 10 minutes from now. Have you ever gotten off a Zoom and then you like instantly have to deal with an issue and your mood changes? Or you don't really have to deal with an issue, but you don't know why, but then your kids like come in, or you go out and you're talking to your spouse and you just like have an attitude where you were thinking like, I was just on that Zoom and so happy with all my friends. Like, and now all of a sudden I have this attitude that just changes in us. It was like yesterday before I got on the opportunity call, I was dealing with a huge issue in my house and literally like screaming at my kids, and I yelled at John and was so mad and like slammed the office door and then like started the call, and I was like, what's up everybody? Like, welcome to the opportunity call, you know, and like that's not how I was feeling, but that's kind of just the face I had to put on at the moment and like fake it until you make it, because you can switch your emotions back and forth. You are able to do that. And so you might not feel like you're strong enough to do that, but you are strong enough to do that. You can change your emotions, and your emotions really are just the lens of the glasses that you're looking through. So if you feel like your business is failing, it's just how you're looking at it. And I am guilty of this too. I've been really looking through a negative lens. I've been looking through a worried lens. I feel like I'm just too close to my life. Like I need to take a breather. That's why people take time off of social media. And that's why they take time off of their business. And they're like, I just need like a mental health weekend, or I need like a few days, is because you're kind of like slowing down, quieting the noise around you to then be able to take a step back and look into your life and see it from clearer perspectives of no colored lens of emotion over top of your life, but you're actually seeing it for what it is. And sometimes you have to do that because it can get overwhelming when you're in it. And then there's so many emotions and so many things. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you is when you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling emotional, you're feeling like, oh my gosh, this isn't working, take some time. Maybe it's an hour that you put your phone down and you say, you know what, forget, I'm not doing IPAs right now. I'm going to go do something else. And you shift your focus and you do something else that is going to make you feel better. Don't just stop doing what you're doing and go make your grocery list and clean your house and do something else that's stressful. Go take that time and go do something for you. Maybe you need to go take a nap. Maybe naps are like my favorite reset. If I'm having just like a horrible day or I'm in a horrible mood, I will take a nap because it resets me every single time. And then I wake up and I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad that's over. Like, let's start this again. Like, let's go at this again. Because just trying to push through the negative time that you're experiencing, it just push through the resilience isn't going to make you feel any better. It's probably actually going to make you feel a lot worse. So if you're having a tough time, it's okay. Think of how you're looking at your business and how you're doing it, because it's a positive thing. It's good that you're experiencing that. It's good that you even recognize that you're experiencing that, because you have higher standards for yourself. You have higher standards for this business. You're not just like, oh, well, it didn't work, I'll just stop getting on the calls and just not care. I'll focus on something else. You still get on. You're still here. You're still showing up. That means that you still want it. That means that you are not the average person. You are different than everyone else. There's 8,000 people on our team, and there's 15-ish people who get on live. 15 people see the value in getting on and starting your morning with the right mindset and staying plugged in and connected to the team. There's maybe 30 people that watch the recording. So let's say there's 45 people that watch these calls out of 8,000 people. And it's not that they don't know about the calls. I have leaders that I tell over and over and over and over and over, like, you would benefit from our call. Everything you say, we talk about on our call. All of the things that you tell me your team thinks, we cover it on the call. We talk about all those things on the call. No one still gets on the calls. And it's just because their standard isn't as high, or they don't value it as much, or it's not in the right place right now, because sometimes you do need to put your business on hold and you need to take a step back and you need to put time in it for yourself. But let me tell you what showing up every single day is going to do for you and your business. You are consistent. You are showing up consistently for yourself, and people are going to feel like they can count on you to also be consistent. No, I want you to think of leaders that have been in your life. Maybe it's your leader in Q. This is going to be like a tough moment to think of this. Maybe it's your leader in Q. Maybe it's an old boss that you used to have, or a leader, a coach. Maybe you were on a team growing up and you had a coach. Think of someone who was super inconsistent. Like, think of your leader who just didn't show up when they said that they would show up, who canceled calls, who always had something going on. The sky was always falling. I can't do this. A soccer coach that just like never comes to practice. There's always another coach. What does that tell the rest of the team? Is that they're not reliable. You can't depend on them. They can't even lead and show up and stay consistent with themselves. It makes you not want to follow them and be with them. That's the energy they're putting off, is like, I'm not reliable. I'm not consistent. If you need help and you are trying to get better, like my daughter just got so mad at her soccer coach because she's like, why is she never here? She's never here. And she doesn't like having different coaches that she's never met or coached with, because she's like, I don't even know them. Like, she doesn't feel comfortable with them. And she didn't even want to go to her game because she's like, why would I go to my game? My coach doesn't even come to practice. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. Like, I can totally see that. And you want to be the leader that you want. So by being consistent and showing up on the small things, like the Monday night calls, or maybe you watch every single or as many morning recordings as you possibly can, or just those little things that you're showing up for, I promise you that's the energy you're putting out there. And people are going to start to feel consistent with you. They're going to start to feel like, I have a place to go. I know what to expect. I can be there. People see you posting on social media, and they also see you not posting. The people that are like all in and then you're all out, where you come back, there's people like that, where they get on our calls and they plug into everything and they come to all the events and conventions and do all the things, and they're in it for like 6 weeks maybe, and then they totally disappear for like 2 months. And they're like, oh my gosh, my life has been so crazy. My son has been so crazy. My daughter has just been crazy. My life has been nuts. And then they come back and they're in it for like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, fully in it, and then they disappear again. And then they come back and they're in it, because when you're not in it, you're probably not doing your IPAs. Just a thought. If you're not showing up, you're probably not doing your IPA sheets. You're probably not posting on social media. You're probably not doing that. So that hurts your business so bad. That is like the biggest thing that you can do to hurt your business, because you're building this momentum and then you're losing it. And then you're building this momentum and then you're losing it. And you're building this momentum and then you're losing it. And so the hardest thing to do is build momentum. The easiest thing to do is to let the momentum ride out. Think of a roller coaster. The hardest part is getting up to the top of the hill. And then when you get to the top, then it's like, oh, this is so easy. We're just going to whip around and it's fine. And it doesn't really require that much energy, but building it is a lot. So think of the roller coaster, like getting all the way to the top and then rolling all the way back down. Or better yet, you have to push a big rock up a hill. And you push this rock and roll it all the way to the top of the hill. And then you let go and it rolls all the way back to the bottom, and you go back to the bottom of the hill and grab the rock and you push it back up. And this is what you're doing every 2 months in your business, and you're going back and forth and you're pushing it and you're letting it go, and you're pushing it and you're letting it go. And two things are happening. One, you're burning yourself out. You're going to get pretty tired doing that. And then you're going to just hate the hill and hate the rock and hate everything that the rock once stood for. And you're just over it. So that's a real thing that happens. But two, you're not showing everyone that you're consistent in doing this. So people want to join someone who's consistent and all in. People want to join someone who is showing up. That's who they want to join. And I promise you that people on your social media will see you. If you're the person who's always showing up and you're always trying, I promise you, your people on social media will see that. And when you see them in real life, like your kids go back to school and you're in the pickup line, or you see them at a Memorial Day barbecue, or you run into them on the boat this summer, they probably will bring up your business, because that happens to me all the time. And I'm sure it happens to some of you. Like, oh, hey, saw your business is doing well. And people say that to me all the time. Or they're like, yeah, how are those products going for you? I see all the stuff you post. I just love following you. People that would never say anything to me over social media, but when I see them in real life, they say stuff because they're watching. I've been talking about this and doing this for almost 6 years now. Like they get it. So if you've been in it for 4 months or a year, they see you being consistent. They see you showing up. So the name of the network marketing game is to figure out a schedule that you can do where you're not burning yourself out. You're not focused on the results, but you're focused on the action and following a system, and you're working good, but you're not burning yourself out and working too much, but you're also not disappearing. Because if you work at 200% and then you can't work at all for a week, that wasn't a good week to work at 200%. You're better off working at 50% consistently for 4 weeks instead of just 1 week at 200% and then take 3 weeks off. So, okay, that was for someone. I hope you feel encouraged that you are doing it right. If it hurts, you're doing it right. My trainer told me that one time. I said, how do I know if I'm doing squats right? She said, if it hurts the next day, you're doing it right. And I was like, okay. She's like, if the front of your legs hurt the next day, you're doing them wrong, because the front of your legs should not be hurting when you do squats. The back of your legs and your butt should be hurting when you do squats. So if the next day you're sore there, you did them right. So it's the same thing. If it's tough, you're doing something right. You are. Now you just have to figure out how to love it, because you don't want to live in this stressed out state of feeling like a failure. So you have to realize what you're doing right by celebrating the small things. So if you're feeling like you're in a mindset where you're like, nothing is going right for me, and maybe that thought crosses your head throughout the day. It did to me a couple days ago, where I just kept thinking that over and over, like everything around me is sucking right now. Like everything is, whatever can go wrong is going wrong. And I just kept thinking all of these negative things. And I stopped myself right there and started making a positive list. What are things that are going right? Because I knew I needed to shift my mindset, and I couldn't think of any. Was literally like, okay, what is going right? I don't know. Nothing. Like literally nothing. And then I was like, okay, that's not true. And I was like, okay, we have, and this is why I started writing this on my IPA sheets. At the top of my IPA sheets, the new ones that I just printed out that Ashley had designed with me, it says notes. And what I've been doing at that top section, I actually changed it to say impacts. And I'm making a list of all of the people that I feel like I really impacted that day. So every morning that I run this call, I write wake up call on there, because I'm like, well, I gave it my all, and I'm sure someone was impacted some way by doing that call. And then if I have a one-on-one with someone, I put their name down. And if I have a training with someone, I put their name down. If I meet with someone in person, I put their name down. And it's everyone that I had the chance to touch and love on and encourage and impact that day. And those are the names that I focus on and look at and think, if just these people on this list were impacted today, then today was successful. Because I have no idea the small thing that I can do and say that can impact someone else's life, or to speak to somebody. You have no idea the power you have to impact and really make a huge difference. So you need to know why you're here in the first place, because that keeps you going when you're feeling burnt out. It helps you to put your perspective back in place and to shift it where it needs to go. And then learning to really love the journey you're in by measuring it by your actions, not your results, and keeping your mind in the right place and staying positive. I'm excited for April, for you to have that call today, for you to teach us. Where are you driving at right now? I feel like all you're doing is just whipping your wheel in circles, like to the right and then back to the left and then back to the right. Like, are you at like a racetrack?
I'm sorry, I have to say, it does look like she's like doing donuts in a parking lot.
Totally. That's what I was like. Are you doing like a burnout in the Planet Fitness Drive parking lot?
Yeah, that's exactly. No, I like pull into the stop. So I got to go like left and then right and then left and then right. And then like, then I did whip into my parking spot.
You were just like turning and then turning. And I'm like, where are you going?
I started going to the gym right after I dropped the kids off, and it's like moved my whole day, like a half hour up. It's incredible.
And it's good.
FYI. Side.
Like it's incredible good. Like it's really made
so good. Yeah, because now I'm home at like 9:30, and then like if we work on IPAs, I could totally like jump onto my desk and like do that, or I'm like making And when like the call's over, I'm like free to take a shower and do all,
Yeah.
moved everything up a half hour.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's so good. There's nothing that feels better than a morning routine that's working. So good. And
Yeah.
Cindy said she's going to the gym after the call. I want to celebrate that I went back to the gym yesterday for the first time since I had my surgery. So I'm excited for that. And I really needed to go for like my mental clarity. I really needed that. I was realizing like this is what's been missing in my life for a while. So yeah. Oh, Haley, band class again. What instrument does he play?
He plays the trumpet. So it's like it's his first year playing it. So sometimes it's good and sometimes it's interesting and sometimes I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what was that?" Like it catches me off guard.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. I know. When my kids brought home recorders, I was like, "Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Why do they still make them learn recorders?" Megan, maybe you can put in a word for us. Like, it's like just pick a different instrument. Recorders are like the worst sound in the whole world. Like, please give me something else. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about day 9 of our workbook here. We have some cool stuff. So yesterday we were focusing on writing some ideas of things that we could do to make money. Did anyone find that hard? Or did you find that easy? When you were writing down the 10 different ways that you could make money. I felt it kind of hard. Because I was still kind of thinking of it as work. Like I was like, what could I do for money? And I was like, I don't want to do any of those things. Like I was like, I could babysit. I'm like, no, I do not want to babysit. And then I'm like, I could, what else did I write down? I was like, because I remember I was like, I do not want to write this stuff down. I wrote, build websites, clean houses. No, I don't even clean my own house. I'm like, I don't want to do any of those things right now. But I was like, I need to just put it down and it's fine. It's not about what I want to do. It's about I could go get the extra money if I needed to. I have ways that I could do it. So that was more the exercise. But we looked for money yesterday. We talked about some of the money we found. You know, some of us found none. Some of us found 10 grand. Cool. Lucky you. John thought we were crazy when I told him that we were doing this whole manifesting $1,000 in 21 days thing. So I've been reporting back to him all the miracles. And so I was like, Alicia got 10 grand the other day. And he's like, what, really? And so I told him the story. And then yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, April just told me she got 10 grand. And he's like, how much money have you gotten? I was like, well, I'm -8. So I was like, it'll happen. It'll come up. He's like, okay, cool. He's like, other people over here are finding 10 grand and you just went to the chiropractor and found out that you owe 1,000. I was like, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It'll come back to us. But day 9 is all about affirming your money. And we talk a lot about positive affirmations. So this one's going to be really easy for us. And we're making positive affirmations for money. And she gives us an example. She gives us 22 examples to choose from. So I'm going to take a picture and post it in the Breakfast Club chat so you guys can see all 22. And your homework today is to pick 3 of these things that really resonate with you that you're going to repeat at least 3 times out loud every single day. Every day you're going to repeat this. Now, she says she also wants you to repeat this on top of the one you were already saying from yesterday. So I'll put this in the chat too because I forgot yesterday. I actually can just put it in the chat as I talk. And it says, money is all around me. I find money everywhere. It flows effortlessly into my life on a daily basis. And so that's the first one we say, and then we're going to pick 3 other ones. So some of the ones that she has on here, she said, you might feel kind of silly doing this for the first time. And we talk about that with affirmations in general. When you're saying, first of all, affirmations are also called I am statements, not I am going to, but I am, like it's already happening. You're already making it happen. And so sometimes when we say these things, we almost feel conceited, or we just feel a little silly, like, you know, I am the best leader in the whole world. Like, okay, come on. Like, are you kidding? Like, you just sound so like full of yourself. So it feels silly to believe in yourself so much. And it also feels silly to say the things out loud, to hear yourself say them. So it does feel a little weird at first, but she said something that I've never heard anyone say before. And I thought that it was really cool. She said that if this feels really silly to you and it feels really weird, a really good way to start doing this is to put the phrase, I am choosing to believe, or I am in the process of believing that blah, blah, blah. So if it feels really weird for you to say, let me find one. I am so worthy of making more money. If you feel like kind of arrogant and conceited saying that, kind of full of yourself, and you just are like, I don't know, I'm so worthy of making more money. If that's a hard thing for you, then say before it, I am choosing to believe that I am so worthy of making more money. So putting that phrase in front of it, she says, will help you more. It'll help you faster than just pushing through the resistance that you're going to feel by saying this thing where you're like, this just feels weird. Don't try to just like push through it if you really feel like you can't. Just say this phrase on top of it, and that'll help you a little bit more. I thought that was really cool. I've never seen anyone do that. And then we're going to be saying these every single day. So there's a few different apps that you can get. The best way to do this is if you set an app to remind you. So, or you can just put it in your calendar and like set a reminder for and say the certain affirmation so it comes across as your notifications. Like, you know, maybe every hour you put a new one in there, and when it pops up on your phone, you say it out loud, or you put it at a certain time. You can also get apps like Think Up is an app. Another one is Remind Again. Is that what it's called? I feel like I have it on my phone. Yeah, it's something like that. I'll put a screenshot of the ones that I have in there. But if those apps, you can repeat it again. That's what it's called. Repeat it again and Think Up are the 2 apps I have. And you can record your voice saying the affirmations and then repeat it back to you. I like Think Up because you can use the free version. You get like, I think you can record 3 different clips for free. And then you can set it to repeat as many times as you want it to. For like, I want you to repeat these 3 things 10 times and do it for 3 sets, or, you know, you can have it be whatever. And you can put music behind it, and it just makes it kind of better to hear your voice. And then you can fall asleep to it. You can listen to it when you're in the car driving. Just really good to get in your subconscious mind to hear yourself say these things. And so those apps are super good to help you listen to them. At first, it's going to feel like it's not working. I just want to tell you that. Just like working out, like, okay, I'm going to get in the gym. After a month, you're like, I don't feel like it's working. Well, it probably isn't really working yet. It's going to take a little bit of time. Hi, Emmy. She's so cute. Did she just wake up? Or no?
No, she's hanging out with Dad. But now she's me because I'm here, and she just be held 24/7. She's not spoiled.
She's so cute. Look at her. Aw, hi, Emmy.
Say hi. Say hi. Hi. Hi.
Oh, so cute.
Good enough. Sorry.
That's okay. So, it's going to feel like it's not working at first. When you say these affirmations, you're going to feel like, okay, why isn't this working? But it eventually is going to start working. So don't just judge how you feel in 3-4 days after doing this. Have in your mind that you're thinking about how things are going to be a month or 2 from now of saying these affirmations. You need to rewire your brain and change the way that you've been thinking. Yeah. Okay. So I'll send you the affirmations that you can choose from. Oh, what I was going to say, and think up a little tip. So you can put 3 recordings in there, but you can say multiple things on each slot. So you don't have to pay for it. So I think you get like a minute maybe or something. So you can say like, I am worthy of more money. I am financially sound. I am a money magnet. Money comes to me, blah, blah, blah. And then that's all the first one. And then click on the second one and then record like a bunch of them in the second one so that you don't have to pay for the app. Because if you need more than 3, then you have to pay for it. So I just kind of like tried to talk really fast and just like put as many in there as I possibly could so I didn't have to pay. So you can do that too. So that's all we're doing today is we're picking the 3 affirmations and we're going to repeat them and we're going to write them somewhere, write them on your mirror. Actually do this. This is going to be a huge change for you. And positive affirmations while you're at it are really good to do in general. If you feel like you have really poor confidence, then you need to go on Google and type in positive affirmations about body image. And all the ones will pop up, and then you pick out the ones that really stand out to you. And yeah, like it will change your mind. It will 100% change it for you. So yeah, okay, so that's that. And so yesterday we talked a little bit about, oh, hold on. She says if you're having a hard time believing these affirmations after your first week, so if you're doing this every day and after a week, you're still like, oh my gosh, this is so ridiculous, even hearing myself say these things, then she tells you to stand in a Wonder Woman pose for 60 seconds and then say them again. So everyone knows what the Wonder Woman pose is, right? I don't need to stand up and do it. Wonder Woman pose. And even looking up into the sky, April, I'm not standing up to do it, so don't ask me. If you look up,
Can you show me exactly what you're talking about?
Will you show us? Because you're already standing.
I don't know how to do it.
I don't either.
Who knows how to do it?
Anyone want to do it? Alicia, you show us.
Let's see it, girlfriend.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Oh, 60 seconds. Stand like a Wonder Woman and you will start to feel better. Isn't it crazy? One of the best tips I ever got from Tony Robbins was when you're trying to change your mental state, you have to change your physical state. And one thing to do is to stand up super tall and look up at the sky and smile really big for 60 seconds. And it is like impossible to be in a bad mood after that once you get done doing that exercise. Like you just feel so good and so empowered. It is totally like a pump you up type of exercise. So it's good. So if you find yourself being in a really weird, funky mental state today, change your physical state. One of my tricks is I put my tennis shoes on, because when my tennis shoes are on, I feel like I'm just like not going to lay on the couch with my tennis shoes on. I put my tennis shoes on. I drink a lot of water. I'll take my vitamins. I'll drink a sport. I'll turn on music. I'll set a timer. And I always start with cleaning, where I'm like, for 10 minutes, I'm just going to clean up my room as fast as I can. Or for 10 minutes, I'm just going to try to clean my living room and my kitchen as fast as I possibly can. And then that puts me in a different state so that everything else is different for the rest of the day. So focus on that today. So, okay, the last thing I want to say is that yesterday we talked a little bit about inviting to or joining different groups on Facebook so that you can get connected to your ideal person that you're trying to connect with. Did anyone join any groups yesterday? Yeah. Okay. What kind of groups did you join?
I did a gardening group or 3 because I'm looking into doing that.
Awesome.
And I also
great.
did a couple of like mom groups that I've never looked for before. After you had mentioned a couple topics yesterday, I was like, I've never looked for that. So I went in and joined a couple mom groups too.
Oh, good. Awesome. And so, okay, when you're in the group, the goal is to really figure out which group you like. Like take the whole idea of I'm in this group to find business connections out of it. You're like, really, which group do I like? Which group do you find yourself going to read the content where you're actually interacting with it because you're interested in it? You're posting questions because you actually have questions and want to know the information and the answers. It's not just a ploy to get in the group and to start being present in there so that you can snatch people. So like really try to put yourself in like, okay, I joined all these groups. Which group do I feel the most drawn to? Which group do I like the most? Which group are the people, my people more like? And you don't have to stay in every single group because it might be hard, but joining a few is really good in the beginning to figure out like, okay, which of these groups do I like? Because some groups are more active than others. So figuring out which group it is and then really diving in there. Good. That's so good that you joined a couple of them. And then how fun, gardening, to learn all of the details about gardening. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Who else joined a group? April, did you say you did? Did you raise your hand? I think you did.
I did, yeah. So I put it in the chat yesterday, but I don't know if everybody saw it. I was looking after we were talking about like milk or whatever, like switching. I was at Taryn's house and we were talking about after breastfeeding, like which milk I should like go to, because I'm like kind of becoming like crunchier than I used to be. Like I just didn't understand the stuff early before this. So anyway, I found this group. It's called Scrunchy, like you're kind of crunchy. And I was like, oh my gosh, these are my people. So I posted in the group yesterday and I posted that question about the milk and I'm like getting so many responses. So I'm like, these are like people like I can actually see myself being friends with. Like I'm in a couple other mommy groups where I'm like, these people are like just not like my type of people. So
yeah,
cool, because like I can see like me being actual friends with these people. And I even got like one friend request. So seems to be working so far.
that is so cool. And then, yeah, like you said, these are my people. Cause I'm in a couple moms groups too, where I'm like, I don't even feel like I like even like these people. Like, I don't even feel like I can like get involved with them or I don't know. Like it's weird.
There's like the one group I'm in, like the mom group. It just seems like all they do is like complain. And I'm like, that is not what I'm looking for.
One time
Like,
in a mom group that I was in, they had a whole thread about complaining about their husbands. I was like, this is literally what you're putting in a mom's group. Like they were talking crap about their husbands in the comments. I was like, this is like not the group that I want to be a part of. Like, what is this? So yeah, that's good to find a group that's like specific to it. Yeah. Find your tribe. Angela said she joined a few breast cancer groups. Yeah, that's so good because groups will definitely help you. So if you haven't joined a few groups, think of some things that you would like to get to know more about or people that you would like to connect with more. And join a group for that. Maybe you're like, I want to be more spiritual, but I don't know like what I believe in or what I want to do. Find a group like that. Or maybe you're like, I just want to be a better cook. I am like such a bad cook. I want to be in a group where I can learn to cook for my family and make good dinners. And you join a group like cooking. I bet if you typed in on Facebook, like new cooking moms, I bet you would find groups for moms that are learning how to cook. Guaranteed. You would find it. And then that would be so fun for you because then you would have new recipes, things to try, questions to ask. So join a group today if you haven't yet. That is huge. The groups will help you so much. It'll help you with your IPA sheets. It'll help you just so much. And then one more vulnerable thing I wanted to share about IPA sheets. So I've been feeling very overwhelmed lately. I've been feeling just very behind in life. Like I can't catch up. I have so much going on, and just with all areas of my life. And I've been feeling so overwhelmed, and it's been taking me a long time to respond to people in Messenger. And I don't like when that happens. And so I just kind of feel bad when that starts to happen. And so I thought of it yesterday. I was trying to do my IPA sheets. I was getting even more overwhelmed. I was like literally about to cry sitting here. And because my phone kept going off, people were messaging me. I just kept thinking, like, I have no business messaging new people and reaching out to new people in my inbox when I can't even catch up with what I have. And I just was like, nope, but you got to do it. You just got to do the small things. Like, it's boiling the water on the stove. Like, I just got to do this. And it just kept feeling so not right. It kept feeling so foreign to me and just overwhelming in this bad feeling. And so I realized, I was like, you know what? I need to take a break from IPAs for a few days. And I need to go back, like I talked about before, like the bow and arrow, pull back. I need to do all my stuff that's been on my to-do list for the last 2 weeks. I need to get myself organized. I need to get myself in a better place. And then I can go forward. So if you're feeling like something isn't working for you right now, lean into that intuition and realize that it might be what you need right now. And I'm in the middle of a 16-day IPA challenge that I created and I promoted it. And I said to everyone, I am going to do this every single day. I'm going to do this 16 days. You watch, I'm going to be consistent. But what I realized is that doesn't work for my brain. That doesn't work for me and who I am and what I'm doing. And that's okay. So don't just stay in the challenge or stay in whatever you're doing just because, one, you're worried about what people are going to think about you, or two, because you said something and now it changed, or because it just doesn't feel right to you. Trust your gut feeling and do that. Now, you don't ever want to just stop doing IPAs forever, but if you need to pump the brakes for a second, that is okay. That is a mature leader. That is someone who I would value so much, someone who's strong enough to say, you know what, I have to bow out of this because here's why. So it's okay if you've been feeling like that. I wanted to just like kind of give you the permission to give yourself permission. Like, trust yourself, trust your gut, and do what's right for you, because that's what you need to do in this business. Don't just do what everyone else is doing, or don't just do what everyone else says you need to do. You're the only one that knows you. So if something is making you overwhelmed and you don't like it, then just take a break for a minute and then come back when you're ready. So I'm going to put the affirmations in the Breakfast Club right now. I already have one of them typed up. And then tonight we have an opportunity call with, who is tonight? Tonight is our opportunity call with Amanda Cramey. And just kidding. That's Friday. Tonight we have our call with Kalina, and she is a homeschool mom of 4. She's a registered nurse, and she's a board certified holistic health practitioner. And she's a platinum ambassador here in Q, and she's also on the Equity Council. And she is awesome at presenting and giving information and all of that. So I hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you later. I'll see you on the call tonight. Invite some people on and let me know if you need anything. So thanks for being on. Thanks for sharing. Bye.